as much as my mom loves being around my sister's baby and showing me pictures, and I'm not allowed to visit. And as much as it seems like they want to belt out their adoration and commitment, and talk about how much of the commitment that they want to be great family for this baby. All I have to do to throw all that off is to say something about myocarditis and pericarditis. And I get that if there is some argument to say that I'm tripping, okay? If there's some argument to say that that's over the top, then hit the books or something. But they just get all quiet. And then, I'm supposed to have my vaccine and shit. Just like that. They put no thought in, no thought. Isn't it the kid that's supposed to give the virus to the adults? You know what I mean? Isn't that the reason why we're wearing a mask and shit? So I have to be somebody who doubts brand new mothers and excited grandmothers are really commitment to the baby. And it's good at some point in time the man has to, like right now, if my sister's husband gave her an unexpected slap across the face, I wouldn't be mad at him. I wouldn't be mad at him right now because she's out of fucking control. She's out of control. He's big. He's got muscles. His slap would probably hurt like fuck. I don't know what, but like I seen him turn bright red because I was arguing I was not arguing. I was late. I left. I don't argue in front of them and the baby. I left, but I was walking down the hall, out the hall. That's when my argument. I start arguing when I'm gone after I leave the people behind. And then they're still talking about don't come over if you're gonna be yelled and everything like that. But I'm all left. You're chasing me down to tell me not to come over. It's so disingenuous. If I can't occupy an area, a location, or an apartment without getting into a fight, I'm gonna leave. But you're putting your foot down and saying that I'm committed and I want to have this condition only, then you don't chase the person down when they're leaving. You don't do that. Doesn't that make any sense anymore? Nobody has the zeal or to learn anything. Then you're ruining our celestial version of the future, our celestial vision of the future. Don't come around anymore. In fact, you as a matter of fact, get a vaccine so your DNA can be stepped on too, because we love you. You're like, y'all a bunch of assholes. You're my relatives. You ain't nobody family. You're the baby's family. But if that baby gets a vaccine or boosters before they're 12 years old, then you're a derelict. And I don't see how you're even being a family to the baby. You're just being relatives. Y'all addicted to making promises you can't cash in. It feels funny coming out of my mouth, even if I want to do something for somebody to make a promise for them. I'll just surprise them. I'm not making no promises to nobody. Why appease somebody that doesn't even like you in the first place, that doesn't want to compete on a friendly basis to be more productive, that doesn't want to do any research to find out how not to step on the next, how to respect the next person's being instead of being alternation. Just respect my being, but you can't do it. I don't know that there's too many humans that can do it at this point. And because they all together in numbers and they think strength in numbers, that they think that they're going to convince somebody that feels like I'm worth it to find out about pericarditis and myocarditis and Guillain-Barré-Bell's palsy and whatever the fuck that they say is a possibility, because this is so rushed and experimental. And we didn't wait 10 years to get an autoimmune system, something to boost your immune system, or to slowly build up. It's not slowly build up, but make you impervious or immune. They're doing it through mRNA, which affects the limbic node, as opposed to a vaccine, which builds up your resilience. It's the same way that they crank up the libido. It's Viagra. It works on your limbic node. And then this mRNA, messenger RNA, works on your limbic system to boost the immune system. That's why shit doesn't work either, because it's not really enhancing your immune system. It was just a cheap trick and a ploy, and nobody wanted to admit it because they think that they're good little Christians. And they think because you're even if you're a erudite little girl that just graduated from Catholic school, like, there's no way in hell that's a Christian. There's no way in hell. Like, a Christian might be a big oaf, a big lumbering oaf that people are scared of, that looks mean. You know, he might have a mean looking face. I don't believe these little girls actually give a fuck. Like, they'll tell you to raise your mask, and then they'll fucking touch all your groceries with money counting gloves that has green smudges on them, that has they'll pass semi and porous surfaces back and forth between this window and tell you why you gotta sketch out. No, I don't gotta be sketched out. Like, it's impossible for me to be sketched out. If you're not even taking this shit seriously enough to get some real protocols, then it's not real. It was like, do you not believe that people are dying? People have always been dying. Now you're just focusing in on them to get their stat. Now, there have always been people getting swine flu and dying. There's always been people getting even regular flu. And so because you can get myocarditis from a regular flu or something, it doesn't mean it's not worth looking into if your boosting is causing extenuating the chances of, and enhancing the chances of getting it. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, until you do the first book work, until you do the first to research anything to keep this conversation going, even if not to like agree with me, or not to even if it doesn't entirely disagree or agree, you're just continue a conversation that needs to happen. If you want to call yourself a protector, a guardian, because you're not being no guardian. You're being a kid's friend. You're being the baby's friend. And friends act like shit. So that's why you ain't impressing. That's why you're not impressive. Friends act like shit. Like, they ain't, like, you already got to be defensible and built out yourself. You already have to be autonomous or able to stand on your own for friends to respect you at all. But I mean, it's easy just to call yourself a friend, though. And nobody's gonna come at you and all foul and everything. Because if you're not a relative, then I understand that I there's less I can say to you before you get dispossessed with that friend and say fuck you, because you're not family. You know what I mean? A family member, you could say more back and forth to them, and they're still there for you. But they're not really there for you. You know what I mean? They're more or less just still there, but it's like they're not there for you. They're there for them. At least now they're there. These people are here for themselves. Like, I don't know why you want the look more. You don't really want to be about that. You want the look. Shit, I mean, until I see something different, then that's my perspective. Until somebody shows me something different, that's my perspective. You know, and I'm putting them. I put them on blast on the video because it's all I could really do. They done told me to step on my DNA. They then held this baby out in front of me saying, like, Like, oh, look at this baby. You can't even you can't visit without a vaccine. But you do realize that, like, what you're proposing is hideous, is disgusting, hideous. What am I supposed to do? You know, like, it's your fault that there has to be this kind of tough love anyway. Like, I don't even want to do it. You think this is be optimal? I'd rather have the discussions that involve bringing us up to speed with whatever research is available. Then we can have friendly competition to become more productive. You never know how much wealth you need to create because of motherfucking illness, operations. People need veneers. Maybe they need new teeth or something. Yeah, something. I don't know. Root canals, whatever. Like, I mean, nobody's. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have like insurance and shit like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's just me. So, because I got my own things to work out. You know. But it's not about that though. It's not about me not having insurance. The reason why I'm not allowed is because I wouldn't get a vaccine. I'm not allowed because my Munchausen syndrome having mother wanted to make me an ultimatum, to fucking choke myself with a mask, or we're not going anywhere. Like, we're not gonna show up anywhere together. Basic ass nonsense. So I have relatives, but family is like always a question. You know what I mean? Like, there's always someone that seems like they are ready to be a family, But it's like, it's not that they already have. It's like they already have family, but I don't know if you're my family. I'm not. I don't know if you're. It's kind of fucked up to say it, but ain't you supposed to show me something too? And I'm supposed to demand some evidence before I just buy hunky dory, just buy the whole thing, accept the whole nonsense. Because nobody that's my family would tell me to step in my DNA. Nobody would do it. They would do a little bit of research. If your husband or if your wife got cancer, you're going to go to the library and study ontology and become right up there with the doctor. You're going to become almost as educated in this shit as damn doctors are. But when it's a little mulatto, aqua maroon baby, then if they want to be fake to you, then it's more cosmetic and for themselves than a look that they want, since they thumping their chest, promising that they have so much commitment that they're going to be the right, like that they're going to raise their family right. You don't have to beat your chest, You don't have to fucking show all your, you don't have to virtue signal showing all your emotions on your sleeve, showing all your, they show their emotions on their sleeve or something like that. Like, that's just whack and it's bullshit. Why don't you just do the work? Why don't you just put in to find out? Then I can't make everybody quiet. If I say one thing that you don't know anything about, you just all shut down. And then I'm mean because I'm throwing off your celestial vision of the future. But if you're going to have a celestial future, it's going to be because you cultivated that. And sometimes in order, you have to find out things. Otherwise they're just saying that not to believe, not to listen to nothing, not to believe, because I never told anybody definitively. I said this is a question, and it's there's no really reason to trust. You know Fauci is, right? You know what Fauci is, right? as far as like gay people in the 80s, as far as this animal cruelty and shit, like that motherfucker get a pass. These people that are saying that they're so goody two shoe, goody hearted, and not the least among us are faking, subsiding on promises to a fool. Even if I want to do something for somebody, I'm not going to promise them. Even if it's on my itinerary, because it's better to just have it done and then surprise them than promise, because promising is kind of like dragging out a relationship for what it's worth, even after it's over. So then it's like, I'm starting to think next time that somebody promises me shit, that they must think that this relationship is over. It's like they don't value themselves enough to do any research. They don't value me enough not to tell me to do something that needs to be researched. And that's not a family. I'm sorry. Y'all missed the mark. You fell off. You fell. You fall short. We all fall short of the glory. Okay, so don't be taking it too personally to the heart or anything. But if your kid ends up with myocarditis and they're telling you, oh, it's no big deal, we keep defibrillators in the elementary schools now, it's no big deal, they could just nap it off a couple days and they'll recover, it's not permanent. Like, they don't know. And I can tell you for sure that any kind of arterial pulmonary tearing is fucking permanent. For you to tell me, I hope your husband slaps you. You're out of control. My sister's out of control. If her husband slapped her, I'm not going to be mad at him. She out of fucking control. She's going to be listening to my Munchausen having mother. Sick. Y'all sick. Y'all sick. One of these days, it's going to be a damn tragedy. And it'll be your fault. And I don't even want to be smelling like a fucking dozen roses and becoming authority and everybody looking. Because you know, you're going to be lonely, and you're going to have to be so lonely before you can cure any lonely. You know what I mean? But then when you do, then you're like the hero. Like you're like the captain who came, you know, the King Richard, you know, came back to oust the sheriff of Locksley. It was a tyrant or whatever. They show you all these examples of what it is and then let it happen in real life, you know? Because I guess they think that I think as little of myself than they think of me, or I should think as little of myself than they think of me. But I'm going to steamroll over your shit. I'm sorry, because the information is going to steamroll over you. You see that how skinny my arms is, right? That's how skinny my arms is, right? You don't think this information going to steamroll over your ass? Because you don't want to put in, you're trusting Fauci, you trust in these, you trust those big pharma all of a sudden, you know what I mean? No, it's not that they're getting up to try to kill off everybody. It's just that they're no good for anybody. Like, if you understand that negotiation is only for buying time and positioning, right? And Abiy Ahmed not going to the peace negotiation doesn't necessarily mean that he's a piece of shit. It just means that it's not advantageous for him as far as buying time and positioning to show up at a peace negotiation when they're trying to starve or cut off supplies from the Tigray region, right? So they don't have no journalism going on. Even regular journalism is not allowed in Ethiopia. But we get these celebrities all popping up everywhere talking about hashtag no more. Why? What does they do? What do they do? We already know what a negotiator does. What do they do? We don't even know what they're talking about before they come up with no more. We don't even know what they're talking about. They think they're going to steamroll over us with this agenda. I hope they fall on their fucking face so I can laugh at them.